Hey everybody, I'm Jordan and welcome back to Dream Daddy. Uh, Last time I think, let's see. I actually don't quite remember what we did last time. I think we went on a date with Matt. I didn't particularly like him very much. But, he was one of the dads. I thought he was kind of bland. He didn't really have much personality. So that was whatever. Holy moly. Alright. Whoa! Okay. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. Hey everybody and welcome back to Dream Daddy. Alright, so let's go to Dad Book. So last time we went on a date with Matt. I believe we've completed Matt, Damien, and Joseph. So this time I think we're going to complete Craig because I'm extremely indifferent towards him. I think he's like cool, but eh. I just want to get to the good daddies, you know what I mean? Oh yeah. It took some time for our schedules to line up, but I was finally able to find a weekend where Craig and I could go camping. He always stays so busy with work and the kids, but it's good to know that we'll be able to spend some time relaxing together in nature. Since our first run, I've managed to go on regular runs with Craig. I mostly do them because it seems like the only time we get to hang out, but the added benefit is that I've seen a lot of improvement in my health. I was able to sift through the attic and find old camping gear from the college. Craig put me in charge of bringing the sleeping bags in the tent while he takes care of the food, and I double-check to make sure everything is ready to go. Craig should be here any minute now. Amanda's going to be spending this weekend on a school trip to our nation's capital. She hasn't been away from home without me for longer than a day since she was 14. Hope she isn't feeling as nervous about it as I am. Hey, Amanda Panda. Amanda's in the middle of sitting on top of her luggage in order to get it to finally zip. Hey, Pops. Ready for your trip? Once I get this bad boy all zipped up, I'm good to go. How much did you pack? That seems like a lot for 2 days. Oh, it's all my camera equipment, lenses, tripods, flash, all that. Are you even gonna have time to take pictures? I'll find a way. I need to get some good shots for my series on national monuments. Ooh, what's the series about? It's one of those internet series where I reimagine Disney princesses as founding fathers. What? I'm kidding. Nobody likes those. I'm talking about portraits of my friends. Oh, well, I'm gonna be in the woods, out there in nature. You know, roughing it. Just me and Mother Nature. The old Madre de trees. Are you gonna be alright on your own? Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna have any signal out there. I won't be able to text or call you at all. Oh, it's alright. I'll be able to survive a couple days without constant updates on who got voted off International Haunted House Hunters. Well, I'll miss you. And for the record, Bradley was pushed down a flight of ornate stairs by a ghost. They were really beautiful stairs. Amanda finishes zipping up the big suitcase and lugs it next to the door of her bedroom. She turns around and gives me a big hug. Relax, Dad, Tron. I'm a big kid now. I can take care of myself. Besides, I gotta share a room with Monica Sanders and 2 mom chaperones. The most trouble I could possibly get into is falling asleep with a tub of ice cream on me. Oh, well. Alright. Don't steal anything, okay? Since you asked me nicely, fine. Promise. Yay! No thievery! I step outside, hauling my bags behind me. Craig's already straps some camping gear on top of my modest but stylish car. He notices me carrying my equipment and hurries over to take it from me. Such a gentleman. I almost had a case of the vapors there. Never fear, the muscles were made for picking up heavy things and putting them in other places. Remember, it's your weekend to relax. Take it easy. I guess I can't argue with that. Everything good with Amanda? Yep, on our way to school trip in Washington, D.C. What about your offspring? Already at Smashley's for the weekend. I'm ready to get my camp on. I load the rest of my stuff into Craig's car and we get in. Weren't we just on my car, though? I thought we were putting all the stuff on top of my sleek but stylish car or whatever. And that's one of my big complaints about this game. It's very, very cute, but the writing is just, like, all over the fucking place. Oh, no! What's wrong? I think I left my juicer plugged in. We gotta go back. Are you worried that someone's gonna break into your house and cold press some carrots? No, it's just, Just try to relax, man. Let the juice float away. Take all of your worries and blend them into a pulpy good vibes. Craig takes a deep breath. Do we have anything to listen to? All I had at my place was a series of CDs that guide you through a thorough and intensive calisthenics workout. Do you want to listen to those? I'm just kidding. Craig hands me a thick case filled with CDs. Take your pick. I thumbed through the page after page of kids sing-along CDs. Oh yeah, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star takes me back. Keep going. I get to the end of the case and find, in the very last slot, a blank CD with Craig's handwriting on it. DJ Kegstan's Mega Mix Volume 1. Made it just for the trip. I think you'll like it. I pop the CD into the car stereo and it's like I'm immediately transported to our old dorm room. Hit after hit plays and soon enough we're both happily singing the lyrics to each song as we fly down the highway. This song was Carl's favorite. Carl, the third roommate! You brought that dog home one night and I couldn't pry you two apart. So we spent an entire semester fabricating a story about our foreign exchange student roommate who's recently had a bad cough that sounded exactly like a dog's bark. And then we had a room inspection. The RA was so suspicious of us, but we could never prove anything. And Carl was just under a blanket. Bless that pup's courage under fire. Man, we did some dumb things back in college. The hours fly by as we belt out tunes in whatever non-existent key our voices register in. Soon enough, we're surrounded by lush trees and spectacular vistas of everything amazing that nature has to offer. Feels good to be back out here. Real good. Jesus. We park our car at the entrance to a familiar trail and load up our gear on our backs. I'm thankful that I've been working on my health over the past few weeks, otherwise I'd be dreading all the hiking that's about to happen. This ambient fucking noise is actually insane. Craig looks intently at his phone. Everything alright? Yep, just had to fire one last work email. Craig pockets the phone and we start off on the trail. It's relatively easy, but I know I wouldn't have been huffing and puffing at this point if it weren't for all the murder sprints. I look around me and the trees and animal chirps. Everything okay back there? There's no reception out here. Oh yeah, being out in the middle of nowhere would do that. I recognize the look of anxiety on Craig's face. But what if there's a problem? Look, Craig, we all know that if you really wanted to, you could flex your calf muscles and fly out here like a rocket ship all the way back to Maple Bay. You're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. This is our weekend. We keep marching down the trail, but it seems like Craig is still worried. After a bit, he stops in his tracks. Maybe we should go back. We could find another campground that gets good cell reception. Craig, seriously, what's wrong? Holy fuck, this fucking ambient noise is so distracting. God damn. What if something happens to the girls? I don't have a signal. I would have no way of knowing. Let me tell you, that feeling never goes away, no matter how old your kids are. You just gotta remind yourself that they're in good hands. Craig doesn't say anything. I give him a reassuring punch on the shoulder. Try to remember why we came out here. The plan was to get away from it all and just focus on ourselves for this little trip. No distractions, no cell phone service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods. Craig looks me directly in the eyes. Directly in the eyes. No distractions, no self-service, just two dads relaxing out in the woods. We're gonna have some fun this weekend. Craig and I get back to marching. It's not too long of a hike before we get to the campsite, and we're both glad to see that we're the only people there. I can't believe you still have this tent. Found it in my attic, and I already checked it for holes. It's seen better days, but I think we'll be able to survive. I dump the bag of fabric and poles onto the ground. We unfold the tent in the desired spot. I hand Craig the stakes. We still know how to do this, right? Of course we do. We do not. After 20 minutes of struggling like people in a bad infomercial, we somehow managed to build an upright structure that closely resembles what a tent would look like if somebody asked you to draw a picture of one with their eyes shut. I wouldn't put this up against a storm, but I think we'll be able to survive for the night. We set out a couple of chairs and cooking equipment, admiring our handiwork. Bro, look at us go! Look upon the kingdom we have built. Upon this rock we shall grill our meats and drink our brews, for we hold dominion over this land. Verily, and look at our camping chairs, which we are going to sit on. So what's the next camp extravaganza docket? Well, now that we have our shelter settled, I think it's time for us to do some exploring. There's a little waterfall a little bit up the way, but I'm sure we could hike to. Let's get hiking. Craig and I venture into the woods. We amble along, taking our time to chat and admire the wildlife. Craig reaches an arm and stops me. Dude, does that look like what I think it looks like? I cannot. Alright, I'm turning down this fucking ambient music. I actually cannot stand this. It's giving me a headache. I look over to where he's pointing. Oh my god, it does. That tree looks like a butt. I can't get over how detailed it is. I examine the butt tree further. The contour is perfect. It even has back dimples. I thought we were going to have a great time camping, but this makes it even better. Craig holds back a snicker. I aspire to have every hike be as good as this one. I'm snickering now too. Let us analyze this tree further. Craig and I share a huge belly laugh at our awful jokes. The best thing about this is that there's no daughters here to tell us our jokes are bad. We high-five. Craig and I hit the trail again. It's been a long time since we've been out here, but everything seems more or less familiar. We point out old landmarks that we remember back from our college days. I think we're getting close now. Check it out. There's a clearing up ahead. As we get closer, I can hear the water running. Alright, I'm gonna turn the sound back on. I hope to fucking god there's like ambient water music that sounds nice. Oh, thank god. That like ambient like chirping and bullshit, that gave me such a bad headache. This game is so cute, but it is so hard to ignore the mistakes that are in it because they're so fucking huge. Cresting over a hill, Craig and I are greeted by a wide clearing surrounded by trees. In front of us is a beautiful waterfall spilling into a large body of water that runs into a river. Mouths agape with a genuine beauty of the place, we go to investigate. The old waterfall. It's gorgeous. Nature is so rad. Peering further, we get an idea of how deep the pool is. Think we could jump off it like the old days? Ha! This old dad is happy here on dry land. Looks like you could climb up right over there. We didn't even bring swim trunks. What are you talking about? Craig immediately begins taking off his clothes. Woo! Ooh, I want to look at Craig's butt, but I want to save first. Ooh. I can't help but sneak a peek. That is a good butt. Craig turns around and suddenly he catches me looking. I do a lot of glute workouts. Ooh! I immediately turn away blushing. You coming or what? Oh, I don't know about this dude. He's already making his way over to the waterfall by the time I finish my sentence. He realizes I'm not right behind him and he turns around and rolls his eyes. We lived together for years and I've seen your ass more times than I can count. It's no big deal. Who needs pants anyways? They're society's oppressors. Down with pants. Down with the system. That's the spirit. I take my shirt off and drop it in the pile of Craig's clothes. I put the rest of my clothes on the ground, feeling exposed. Craig and I climb up to the top of the waterfall, making sure not to slip on any wet rocks. He reaches the peak before I do and offers me a hand getting up. At the top, we look over at the cliff into the tiny lake. It seems so much higher up from this perspective. Craig has always been a daredevil. He pulled some stunts in college, and I'm honestly still shocked he survived. I was always the one standing on the sidelines watching and hoping I wouldn't be bringing him home in a gurney. Man, this could be dangerous. Craig looks me in the eyes. Don't think, just jump. Craig cannonballs off the waterfall into the lake, creating a huge splash. I'm worried for a moment before he finally resurfaces from under the water. Woohoo! He treads water and looks up at me. You coming or what? Don't think, just jump. How are you supposed to just not think? I'm pretty sure that's not physically possible. My toes grip the edge of the rocks. The water looks so far away. Don't think, just... I run off the edge, trying to do my best cannonball. Somewhere in the middle it turns into a really graceful belly flop. I hit the water with a loud slap. I resurface to find Craig giggling. I rate that belly flop a solid 8 out of 10. Your form was lacking, but your heart was in the right place. I playfully splash water at Craig. Are you sure about that? I splash him again. You've given me no choice. Craig splashes me in the face with a huge wave of water. You've awakened the beast. He launches another wave of water at me. Don't you put me in a corner here. Don't put a wild animal in the corner. Ooh, hammer fist. That's like the best, kind of. No. I mean, that would be funny, I guess. I'm gonna do hammer fist. With the force of thunder, I bring my fist down in the water, creating a tidal wave that drenches Craig. Good one. But I think I can do better. Craig answers back with his own tidal wave. It's big enough to launch me back. He's so strong. Craig, truce, please. Craig thinks about it. Yeah, sure. We shake hands. There is peace. Man, that jump was such an adrenaline rush. Not so scary now, huh? I'll race you to the top. We run all the way up to the slick rocks and cannonball off the waterfall again. What a rush! Good form on that one. Want to go again? You know it! With the same energy we had in our youth, we climb back up to the top of the waterfall. I'm brave enough to try a flip, which I'm sure looks incredibly graceful as I belly flop into the water. Phew, man. This is fun. Got one more in you? I live for danger. Takes us a little more time, but we get to the waterfall and both do our best running jumps into the water below. Alright, I think that's my limit. We should get going back before it gets too dark. You're right. We should probably head back. We put our clothes back on and notice that they're soaking wet. Maybe a splash fight wasn't the best idea. It's okay. We'll get a fire going in no time. We can dry off and get some dinner going. Sopping wet, we hike back to the camp and unpack everything we need for dinner. Craig pulls a couple of steaks and some chopped potatoes in a tin foil. You ready for a feast? Hey man, take a seat. The Craig train is pulling into the relaxation station and I'm your conductor. Let me cook for you. Absolutely not. Cooking is the thing that relaxes me the most. I'll take it from here. Craig cooks now? I remember his entire sophomore year diet consisted of microwavable mac and cheese, but not microwaved and having trouble believing that the thing he just said. Wait, what? Consisted of microwavable mac and cheese, but not microwaved, and have trouble believing the thing he just said. Okay, at least let me get the fire started. Sure, let me grab my matches. Craig reaches into his backpack. He rummages around in his bag and pulls things out and checks every pocket. Uh-oh. I know how I packed it. Craig checks another bag and still can't find it. My stomach grumbles and now I'm more acutely aware of how cold and wet I am. We really need to get a fire started. Okay, well, it's not the end of the world. Gosh, I'm so stupid. I could have sworn I packed it. I'm sorry, dude. Don't be. We can figure this out. We can start a fire. We're smart guys. I mean, how hard could it be? I watch plenty of survival programs on TV. If a naked TV star can do it, so can we. We'll need to get some wood. I gesture to the trees around us. There's no shortage of that. And some tinder. We can make that work. And then I think some ancient aliens are then supposed to come by and give us advanced technology or renovate our house. Depends on the show. Craig and I gather a variety of wood, bark, and moss until we have all the materials that could, conceptually and make a passable looking campfire. Just add fire, right? That's the fun part. The sun is going down now, and a cool breeze rustles the leaves of the trees around us. We have to work quick. I've done this in the past, and I know I can figure it out. Just give me a second. Any way I can help? Give me some moral support. Lift my spirits, and we'll make this fire happen. Go overboard with compliments. You're really giving that fire the business. You're an amazing, hardworking father with a steady work ethic, and everybody loves you. Your daughters think you're a superhero, and the neighborhood dads respect you immensely. Also, your butt looks great. Bro, stop. You'll make me cry. Okay. Don't want your tears putting out the fire. Eventually, Craig is miraculously able to get something going. He blows on the embers and gently places the glowing moss into the base of the pit. Soon enough, we have a nice little fire going. Way to go, man. We're regular old outdoorsy fellas. Hooray for not dying. I take the seat in one of the lawn chairs Craig brought and cozy up to the fire, warming up my hands. Relax, man. Take it easy. Let me handle the dinner. I watch as Craig strokes the fire and sets up a makeshift grill for the steaks. After all the hiking and swimming and fire starting, I'm able to relax a bit. With the sound of crickets and the scent of steak filling the air, I actually feel pretty calm. Craig expertly sears 2 steaks in a pan he's been heating up on the fire, cracking thyme and crushed ginger over it, while basting them both in butter. Wow, I didn't know he was actually good at cooking. Fanciest I ever saw him in college was when he started sprinkling the seasoning packets onto dry ramen and eating it straight up. When did this happen? You used to eat cereal every morning with beer instead of milk. I grew up, I guess. I think these are just about ready. Craig puts the steaks onto the paper plates and sets them aside. I start to reach for one, but Craig smacks my hand away. Dude, let them rest. It'll be more flavorful that way. I patiently return to my seat, eyeing the steaks longingly from a distance. They smell incredible. Craig prepares a side salad for us in the meantime, sprinkling feta cheese onto freshly chopped greens. He plates it next to a generous pile of roasted potatoes covered in olive oil and rosemary. Once it's all ready, we sit down by the fire and dig in. Everything taste okay? I'm in heaven. That's what I like to hear. Remember how for the entire semester we would eat burritos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? It's so hard not to go back to that. Look at you now, man. You have kids, a great job, and you cook like a vengeful wizard whose arch nemesis is microwavable food. I'm really impressed with how much you've gotten your life together. Craig laughs, but there's no humor in it. I'm glad you think that. I glance at Craig while he picks at his salad. He really grew out of his baby face, but there's still something about his expression that makes him seem so much older than he is, a sense of maturity that he didn't have in college. He looks exhausted. You okay?
I don't know.
Yeah. Come on, dude. I've known you for long enough to see when you're down.
Hi.
I'm tired, bro. I think being out here made me realize just how drained I feel. You work really hard, Craig. It can't be easy.
I don't know.
I have to, for my girls. I volunteer at their school. I cook healthy meals for them. I do everything I can to make sure they're safe and happy. When they're with their mom, I'm working overtime so I can support them. Then you work out a lot so you can crush anyone who stands in their way.
Oh.
That, and I don't want to fall into my old habits. I need to set a good example for my girls. Everything I do is for them, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But it seems like it's bleeding you dry. If that's what it takes to raise them well, then it's worth it. Craig, buddy, I know where you're coming from here, but you gotta take care of yourself, too.
Nice.
I do, though. I eat right, and I exercise, and that's not what I mean. You're too little butter on too much toast, you know?
Hey.
What? You're spreading yourself too thin. Life needs balance. It's great that you care this much about your kids, but you can't neglect your own needs because you're too busy trying to take care of everyone else's. You matter too.
I don't know.
I know I can provide for my family, and if I take a step back and look at everything objectively, I know I'm doing right by them.
Oh.
But I can't explain it, man. There's always that voice in the back of my head telling me that I need to do more. It's like never enough for me. Every time I try to relax, that voice keeps telling me I don't deserve to be. To be honest, I even feel guilty about being out here. Craig, you're trying your best and you're doing an amazing job. That's a fact. But if you weren't, you would still deserve happiness.
Oh.
Do I, though? Hell yeah. I look at Craig and think about what a good friend, even better father he is. He's compassionate, he's hardworking, he's relentlessly positive. He encourages everyone to be the best version of themselves. He makes me want to be a better person. If you could only see yourself the way I see you.
Oh.
Craig beams. He gets up and walks over to his supplies.
Oh.
Come on, I brought dessert. Oh, are you going to use the campfire to torch the tops of some creme brulee?
Oh.
What? I know little to nothing about cooking. Craig pulls out the marshmallows.
Hey.
Well, you still know how to make s'mores, right? I think the more important question is, do you know how to make s'mores? As I recall, you used to just completely blacken the marshmallows. Oh, I stand by that. It's charred on the outside and the gooey center is preserved. Brutish. Craig throws the marshmallows at me and I catch it in my mouth. Pro move. We used to be able to do that at a great distance against the wind disadvantage. Give me a week of practice and I'll be competitive again. Craig and I sit in the warm glow of the campfire, watching the embers float up towards the sky. The stars are so much brighter out here. Yeah, I miss this, Jordan. Me too. We stay here until it gets late, half remembering stories from college. We watch as the fire dies and eventually clamber into the tent. We crawl into the tent and I unfurl my sleeping bag. Wait, where's the other sleeping bag? I look around for a second. Oh no, I must have left it at home. It's all yours, dude. I'm sorry. I'll just curl up over here. No way. Here. Craig unzips the sleeping bag and spreads it out so there's enough room for both of us to lay on top of it.
Nice.
Night, bro. Good night, bro. I roll over and we face away from each other. Without a blanket, it's really cold. I shiver, and without realizing it, I find myself nestling closer to Craig. I'm sure he won't mind. He turns over and I feel his breath on my neck. It's hard to focus on anything else. I turn over, trying to get more comfortable. I open my eyes and fight. Craig's face only a few inches from my own. Of course he looks at peace. Or for once he looks at peace. His eyes flutter open. His hand finds a place on my waist. I'm not sure who leans in first, but suddenly we're kissing. We look at each other again, my heart racing. Craig,
Oh.
I got strong feelings for you, bro. Feelings I can't deny anymore. Bro, me too. I run my hands through his hair, then down to his chest. Craig brings me closer, wrapping his arms around me. I feel so secure. You know, talking about old times is fun, but I like making new memories with you. I smile, tracing the lines of his hip with my finger. We kiss again. I'm not worried about us getting too cold tonight. Woohoo!
That was an amazing date.
That's funny. Alright, so I will probably leave. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to leave this little part out of the upcoming videos because if you want to see them, I mean, I've gotten like every other dad date. They're all pretty much the same except for like one minute difference. Briar and Hazel will probably come up and say something, but on the next episode, we are going to go on a date with Hugo, aka one of the best boys. I'm really excited for this. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Alright, just kidding. I've actually decided I'm going to show this little clip instead of the whole thing because that like is literally 14 minutes by itself. Hey, looks like Amanda's hanging out with Briar and Hazel. Let's see what they're up to. Okay, Briar, think of a shape. Hazel, what's she thinking? Square. Briar. Star. We'll get it next time. Amanda leans in close to Briar and Hazel, lowering her voice. Listen, you guys can be real with me. If you're downplaying your psychic abilities, I want you to know that you can trust me. Heck, even think of me as the third twin. Amanda, that's a triplet. You know, Dad, by the time I'm done with these kids, we're gonna be finishing each other's... What? You didn't finish your sentence. What are we gonna be finishing? Each other's... sentences! See? Third twin. I have to go. As the party starts to wind down, I take a seat on the back porch step. Aww. Aww. This scene is always super cute. Yeah. Aww. This made me cry the first time I saw it. Alright. Alright. Okay. I take a seat next to Craig as the last guests make their way out of the party. Bro! This reminds me of the parties we used to throw. Fewer keg stands, of course. Probably for the best. I don't want to get my hip replaced after a party trick goes wrong. We can leave keg stands in the past. I'm taking this weekend to relax. This party was my first stop out of the express train from the relaxation station. Next stop is Napville. Pull into the Jordan Concourse. I'd like to book a ticket to Napville as well. I might have to meet you halfway at eating food directly off your own stomach town. We both giggle, but man, do I just want to pour some chips on my belly while I hang out in a hammock. Craig, I'm glad you're making time for yourself. Me too. Stress is a funny thing, dude. I didn't really realize how overworked I was until we got away from the city. It's honestly just as destructive as binge drinking every night and eating burritos off the floor. I guess we need to get out of the city more often then. Craig kicks his leg over the side of the bench and leans onto me, lying on my lap. I run my fingers through his hair. You're looking for balance. I admire that. I'm trying not to feel guilty about doing things for myself. It's a process. And it's gonna take me time to figure it out. I might need your help, bro. Craig, I'll be your bro till the day I die. And if being your bro means forcing you to take care of yourself, then I'll happily oblige. Craig looks up at me, smiling. Bro. That means so much to me. Craig sits up and pulls me into a kiss. Bro. We both laugh. You and me, we're gonna be alright. Yay! Well, now that's officially the end of Craig's story. I liked it. He was not my absolute favorite. Oh, actually. No, I wanted to see who voiced him, but that's okay. There's like 4 different credits. Or actually 7, but whatever. The point is, I'd like to thank everybody for watching this episode of Dream Daddy. Oh, I forgot we get these little pictures. That's a really cute one. Yay! Alright, well, on the next episode of Dream Daddy, I think we're going to go on a date with Mr. Hugo. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Yay!